In the 16 years I lived in Germany, I flew back to Nigeria 6 times. I'm very opportunistic about what airline I used to fly home, in the sense that it had to be an airline that I trusted. I wouldn't worry about my bags, but it wasn't cutthroat expensive. Of course, I could fly directly from Munich to Lagos or to Abuja using Lufthansa, but I like to say if you're flying Lufthansa, you must have deep pockets or you book in advance. And I'm not very well known for booking in advance, which is why out of the 6 times, I only flew once with Lufthansa to Nigeria. And in that case, I really did book 6 months in advance, because on a regular basis, if I booked a Lufthansa flight to Nigeria a month before or 2 months before, then I would be looking at anywhere from 1,000 and above. But if I booked it 6 months before, then I was most likely to get a flight at about 600 and something, which is what happened for my flight going back to Nigeria in November 2019. For the other flights, I have flown with KLM twice, Air France once, British Airways once, and Turkish Airways once. On today's Travel Bites with Liesel81, let's review flying from Munich to Lagos and back with Turkish Airlines. Before I took the flight with Turkish Airlines, of course I did some research, and a reason why it even came up as an option was because I think I booked the flight 3 weeks before. This was for my flight on the 20th of April 2019, going to Nigeria, Lagos, and coming back on the 5th of May. So over 5th to 6th of May on the return. Now, I was not on time in advance enough to book a Lufthansa flight or any of the other airlines, so that Turkish Airlines was my only option, and it was about 400 and something euros return. So that was a really good price. So I started to check the reviews, and immediately I saw like comments about it being never on time, or having issues with your bags not showing up, or showing up damaged and all of that. I had a previous good experience with Turkish Airways flying from Munich to Istanbul, but I had never flown them further. So I had to make a choice. So I decided to risk it, fly with Turkish Airways to Nigeria. How was the flight? First thing I noticed is that the plane we flew from Munich to Istanbul with was definitely better than the plane we flew from Istanbul to Lagos with. Another thing that I was not expecting, and there was nowhere in the comments, was how ras and how crazy that flight was. People were talking so loudly, it was unbelievable. Now, this had nothing to do with the airline, but it was just wow. We just landed at the new Istanbul airport, and we're headed to the passport control. Just want to figure out my whereabouts, and then we'll get it going. Exit, says toilets. Oh wow, look at this. Kind of getting impressive already. Passport control, and I'm gonna hit the toilets first. So I am a bit early, but I can see my flight on the board, and I'm gonna check out the airport till it's time to go. So we're still headed, bit of architecture in there, and let's take the trolley. Wanna try and do this at the same time. Okay, so the architecture is pretty, but I have to say that the signs are not so good, because I ended up leaving my transfer
and when to arrival, kind of like, so I have to go back through the gates again, and that's what I'm looking for. So after my little mishap, I've gone through the patcher again, so got my passport stamped, and now I need to go to gate D9. So this is the airport, the new Istanbul airport, and I'm just hoping that me having left will not make getting on my flight difficult for me, but I'm gonna try find gate D9 and then put this away in a second in a low level. So when I get in people's faces, I want to show you that artwork there. There you go. That's pretty. So it is big. Oh, that's kind of like a installation piece there. You see it? That's welcome. Not bad. There we go. So this is gate D9. Now we're gonna get in a bit. I hate it when people stare. I guess they can't help but do it. It is so fucking rude. A few weeks are over. They get the material. Still hoping Turkish Airlines will live in time. I don't know. Those were supposed to take up like 2050, and I think we're not going to be on time, but just go with the flow and see what happens. We're boarding. At least it seems so that we're boarding. Look at that.
Flying back to Munich from Lagos, it's a late night flight in the sense that you leave at, it was scheduled to leave at 8:50. We did not leave at 8:50. It was about 15 minutes late. And otherwise it was a more quieter flight than the way in. Again, the plane looked definitely older than the one we took then from Istanbul to Munich.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Second tire, please.
Thank you.
Second tire, please. The other side. Second tire, the other side.
This would be my second international flight with Turkish Airways. My bags didn't get missing while coming in, and I'm hoping they don't get missing while going back. We're not taking off on time, but we'll see what happens afterwards. They're still boarding. Flight time was 20:50, and it's 20:50 right now, so I think we're going to take off about 30 minutes past the stated time. But let's see what happens. So flight in was okay. This is flight out. Let's see what's going to happen. We just settled in and were able to fly then direct to Istanbul. When we got to Istanbul, it was the same crazy thing because it was still the new airport that we landed at, and I had a little bit of a difficulty navigating the airport and getting to my connection flight. But I reached it. I did not miss my flight. And flying back to Munich, it was a different aircraft as the one we used, and I felt like, again, it was better. All in all, I would say Turkish Airways, the service and the flight from Munich to Lagos via Istanbul, it's value for your money. The food is good, but I would only book it if I missed the opportunity to book my preferred service providers. This is the final leg home. I ran, I got my flight. I hope my bags make it. This is the new Istanbul airport for the second time. Let's see what happens. Morning. Hello.
37 right.
Right side.
Okay, thank you. Morning.
How are you?
If I'm not flying to Nigeria, then I generally tend towards Qatar, Emirates, and Lufthansa for flights going towards South America, Asia, New Zealand, Australia. I think they've always got like very good offers, and you know what quality to expect. So in the comment section, let me know, what airline do you prefer to fly to African cities with? If you're coming from outside of Africa, what airlines do you like to fly to, say, Europe, Asia, the United States, if you're flying from an African city? Why the preference, and what makes you say this is my favorite airline?
Kabin basıncında bir değişiklik olursa başınızın üstündeki kapaklar kendiliğinden açılacak ve oksijen maskeleri ortaya çıkacaktır. Hemen en yakın maskeyi kendinize doğru çekin.
I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Yours truly, Liesel81.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Yolcularımız, ekran ve kumandanızın yerine yerleştirilmiş olduğundan emin olunuz. Teşekkür ederiz.